Hi there, it's Nick Dutch here. Frequently between calls, because I work over the internet and telephone, I can get myself involved in all kinds of practical activities I need to get done in my day to day life. Die, you little bastards. Yes. I also spend a bit of time thinking about the way in which the world is put together, and sometimes I might make a statement on YouTube that some people might object to, and I made a statement a while ago in that I didn't believe in unemployment. I want to quickly clarify that a bit more because I think it was a bit of a glib statement, and I think it's something that requires a bit more kind of like looking into. Do I not believe in unemployment at all? Certainly not. I'm talking about unemployment over, let's say, 3 years in duration, because of the number of opportunities that there are. For instance, here on the internet, I just don't think that you can go that long without picking something up. So as far as like complaining, let's say 3 years down the line, you haven't found any work, well, you can end up doing what I'm doing, or you can work on a freelance website. There's always work out there. You can make music, you can make videos, you can learn how to make music and make videos. You can write books, you can buy and sell craft items if you're someone who knows how to knit, for instance, or make coil pots. You can knit and make coil pots and sell your stuff on Etsy, which is designed for like the home crafts kind of like market. So if you end up losing your job, or you quit, or you get fired, and you desperately need work, then the internet is the place to go. Now, I do admit big time that if there are more problems in the economy and there's all of a sudden more and more people becoming unemployed, and I saw a Sam Seder article earlier on today which suggested that might actually happen, then that would put a hell of a lot of strain on the quantity of opportunities buying and selling that there is actually out there on the internet through the various different agencies and of course the client base. Because let's say a company has a client base or a viewership, then that viewership will have to, or client base will have to be spread amongst a much larger group of people, and therefore it'll be really rather difficult to make sure that everyone gets a cut of the pie. So therefore there will be more competition, it'll be more aggressive, and so on and so forth. So there will be further complications if the economy goes downhill and unemployment goes up even higher. But let's just say that an individual, ends up losing their job. Maybe they spend the first month or two just trying to cope with it, okay? And then after that, they try and get themselves back on track. They spend a bit of time either doing the occasional part-time and temporary contract, or applying, like crazy, going to all the recruitment consultants and all the rest of that kind of stuff, spending time in the labor exchange job center or whatever, going to the library, using all the newspapers that are available there to do all the job applications, and of course using all the IT resources which are either freely available or paid for to try and get to where they want to go. Okay, let's say they spend a whole year doing that, so that's a year and 2 months will have passed. At that point, they're getting really rather pissed off. The opportunities aren't there, or they've lost their skills. They've been unemployed for a while, and so on and so forth. And getting upset. So go onto the internet. Initially, for the first month or two, they'll be coming across various different websites which will suggest that if you do this, that, or the other, you can make it. Some of them are scams. Some of them are just sales opportunities for the casinos, and so on and so forth. During that 2 month period, so we're talking about 1 year and 4 months down the line, let's say, the individual will then have picked up a good idea or understanding as to which particular websites, companies, and opportunities are scams and which ones aren't, and will then be able to start working out which ones they actually want to do something with. Let's say they can only find one thing which they really feel that they can do, and even then it's not all that good. Then there'll be the next day an extra 1 or 3 months worth of online learning to just improve skills and develop intellectually to be able to do some of the work on a basic level. And then sort of like getting out there and starting to do it. Through freelance websites, there'll be some business experiments which will happen. Let's say that takes another 6 or 7 months. So we're talking about roughly the 2 year mark. Why about the 2 year mark? A lot of the experiments will be done, and they'll eventually know where they want to go or what they want to do. And during all this time, they can still be getting job applications out, attending interviews, and the rest of it. Okay, but let's say they still don't manage to get any work. Then essentially they've got like another few months time just to settle into the new routine of like resigning themselves to the fact they have to work online. Sure, they may be on a low income, and the government may have to step in and help. But on the other hand, at least they'll actually be working. There'll be money coming into them. All right, they'll have self-esteem. They'll have some financial security. They'll have a better quality of life, and they won't have to deal with all the unpleasant and undesirable people in the workplace they may have had to deal with before. This is more or less the way I found it. Okay, because I decided in the end that working for other people wasn't working for me, and so I decided to work for myself, and I tried a few things, and eventually I stumbled on, I came back to what it is I'm doing at the moment. And it can be really, really hard sometimes, and of course there's like right now the time between calls when I'm doing nothing. How did I actually end up employed as a self-employed contractor doing the work I'm doing now? I got here because I wanted to. I got here because I wanted to work. I actually thought, yes, I'm going to go through a fair bit on the way, but I'm going to learn some skills and I'm going to get myself a career sorted out, and one of which I can be proud of, and one of which I am in charge of my own destiny to a certain extent. Okay? And I really haven't started from the best possible point of view. I have a history with alcoholism. I got sober 10 years ago. I have a history of chronic fatigue syndrome, which has not really gone away. Okay? I still have chronic fatigue. It's not as bad as it was, but it does vary an awful lot in magnitude. And so I've been working, learning, building up my background and basis of knowledge, and I've been doing so not being a member of the unemployed. Okay, I got out of being unemployed. I don't take unemployment benefits, and I am officially working. Sure, my hours may be longer than the average individual. They may be more antisocial than the average individual, but I am working. It can be very good. All right, there's times in which I would really rather enjoyed it, and so on and so forth. But if I was like a normal, healthy person who had no history of chronic fatigue syndrome, who had no history of chronic alcoholism and a need to recover and get over that, what would be the point in staying unemployed? I mean, the number of opportunities which are out there on the internet, it's just, you can take something, you can take anything, and you can make it your own. You won't necessarily be like the most, you won't necessarily become Richard Branson or whatever, but you will be able to find something that you can do. Something you can become a part of, a set of arguments you can get, participate in, or conversation, so to speak. You can build an identity for yourself online based upon what you believe and who you really are. I don't think that there is actually that much of an excuse these days. Now, this might seem like a real right-wing argument, but I don't think it is, really, because there will always be a need for government benefits. There always will be, because if you lose your job suddenly, you need to be able to survive, okay? And having these benefits is it is a real privilege. We weren't always in a society where they existed. So it's actually a good thing. You are going to feel depressed, you are going to feel miserable, but if you get involved in something, just something, it takes you out of the misery. Okay, I was in a time of feeling quite hopeless as to what am I going to do. Where is my what is it about the way in which I'm made, and how am I going to use that to try and create a career for myself? Then this friend of mine come around to my house and says, hey, why don't we build a computer together? I've got a few components, here's a motherboard, and just get this, that, and the other, and so he showed me how to make a computer. Okay, so I had this cheap, not very good computer, which I put together myself uh, with his help and advice and guidance, and got it like a cheap monitor going, and that became my window to the world. Okay, so I could find things out, go to websites and explore cyberspace, and then of course I started to take it more seriously, and I chose it as a form of work. So everyone's got to be online these days anyway. I mean, the main purpose of being online is to move money around the world. Because you use it for your job applications, so you'll do it to try and get yourself a job so you can get money coming in. You use it to buy and sell things on eBay. You use it to find out, what's the next cool hot products or someone else's point of view about a cool hot product. So, money is a very big thing on the internet. And of course, it's a way in which the corporations try and sell their ideas to you so they can sell their products to you, trying to work out what demographic you're in and so on and so forth. And so, it's about moving people around the world in the form of jobs, and also the travel industry, moving money about the world and moving products about the world. So it's not a question of I'm just going to sit here and type crap into a forum, all right? Unless, of course, you decided to turn your career into, participating on forums, which might possibly work somehow. I can't quite work out or imagine how. Maybe there's a way of doing like an advertising revenue thing for it. I don't know. But there's some people out there who just like it just clicks with them that they can do websites, or just clicks with them that they can do search engine optimization, or just clicks with them that they can do making coil pots and selling them on Etsy. Okay, so if you're working right now, find a fallback. Okay, find yourself a fallback right now. If you've got a job right now, seriously, use up some of your time. Go online, find another way of getting a few pennies in, because that'll give you some financial security if you do lose your job. If you haven't got a job right now, then start using the internet. I mean, it exists. Okay, it's an actual thing which exists. Start learning something. Go on to any WikiHow page and just give yourself a broad outline as to how something should be done. Now, those things aren't totally reliable, but they give you an outline, and from that you can do further research. From the further research you can do experimentation to try and work out what will work for yourself, and then trying to design something that's more your sort of thing. Now, I'm working on a few other things at the moment, because I want my presence online to be a perpetual learning experience as to how I can use it for my career. I also think that this is where we all are. It's all about doing as much, or having as much free access to information, which we can then use to. Sorry about that. The camera just died on me. Anyway, as I was saying, there's information out there which can help us out with our lives. There's health and fitness information. There's things which can teach you about hobbies. There's things which can teach you how to make things, when you can then take those things which you've made and you can then sell them. There's things which you can use to get information about how to save money in your day-to-day life, it's how to live a healthier, better way of life. There's things which can help you with your personal and social development. There's things which can be of therapeutic benefit to yourself. And also there's entertainment, literature, arts. With a window on the world which is quite so amazing, which can provide you with so many different possibilities, can you really expect to get through life without any work at all? I mean, I can easily believe in people being unemployed for 3 years and needing to claim benefits whilst they're going through that time. I can easily believe that someone can go self-employed in one form or another and be on a low income. Okay, that's the way things are, and then you might need some state benefits to help you out. Okay, fine. But what about total unemployment? A total sitting on your ass, just playing Xbox, or just spending all your time down the pub. I mean, for 3 years. Can you really do that? I don't think so. Sure, you need to have drive. You need to have a certain level of discipline and dedication to experiment and to be curious about stuff. But Surely everyone has that to a certain extent. Okay? Now, if I am wrong, or if you think I'm wrong, make some variety of video response. Okay? Definitely leave something in the comment section, because I'm curious about your point of view. Because all I can do is tell you mine at the moment. Okay? And then maybe, we can just see what kind of ideas we can create out of different points of view, which is another reason we can be on the internet and we can learn and we can grow and all the rest of that kind of stuff. And then, if I've made a mistake, I'll move on from this. Okay, I'll move on from this point of view. If you've made a mistake, maybe you could do the same. We'll see where we go. Keep cool.